Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of The Renaissance with me, Infinite C. This is my first solo segment podcast. It took me a minute to get here, but I'm finally here. And I am so thankful for you for tuning in on my first podcast by myself. So basically, I wanted to come today and just talk about what this podcast means to me, essentially. And I'm calling it the Renaissance because, as obviously, we're sovereign beings, right? And as sovereign beings, we reign over our own lives. We take control, we're front and center at our own lives within the way that we navigate this world. And with that being me as an individual and me in collaboration with my sister as well, and us together as individuals and as sisters, it's important for me to let everyone know that it's important for all of us, especially, I'm not just going to say us, us melanated beings, for all of us to tap into our sovereignty and know that we are all very, very powerful beings, and how important that is for us to reclaim our power. And I call it the Renaissance because anytime there's a renaissance of sorts, there is a time in history where change comes. There's a massive shift in the culture. There's a massive shift in just the way the world looks at a certain group of people, or even looks at itself. So with what's going on now in the world and what's going on within myself, I feel like this is a time for us to harness our power and really just shake some things up and let go of, old ways. Out with the old, in with the new. And for me, this is definitely a very new thing. Obviously, I've done podcasts with my sister in the recent past, but ultimately it's still a very new thing. And I feel like it's so important for us to challenge ourselves and do different things, do things that push us out of our comfort zone, and into exploring just new avenues of life and new things and new portions of ourselves that we didn't know maybe we had, or we knew that we had, but we kind of, shoved it down a little bit instead of exploring it or letting it out. And I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm letting all that shit out. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. I just want to really not just talk about being a sovereign being, not just talk about being the person that I think I am, but actually doing that in my life. And that means challenging myself, showing up in new ways, doing this, doing things that I'm passionate about that I've kind of placed on the back burner, and just going for it and saying fuck everything, fuck the judgment, forget who got to say about what, forget what I have to say about myself that may have me doubting myself. It's important to just kind of cross those boundaries with yourself or push those limits, So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you all are tuning in. This is exciting. This is exciting for me. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to please engage, like the video if you like it, comment. We like to see comments. Like, I want to see y'all engage, and I want to see what the tribe feels, what everyone's thinking, like where our minds are at. Just connect with those who feel connected to me, connected to us, connected to this platform. We want to know what you guys think. Where are you at? Like, what could you do to push yourself a little bit more? Like, get out of your comfort zone, do something a little different than what you're used to. It can be very hard. We all know that, but it's vital. It's really vital in the growth of us as individuals and the growth of us as a community. And I feel like when we talk about breaking generational curses, this is a part of that. In order for us to go further and go harder, we have to do things that we haven't done before and open ourselves to the world, open ourselves up to the universe. And it might be scary. It might be scary. It might feel a little bit unnerving, all those things. But it's important to remember that our emotions are only antennas for us to recognize. Sorry about that. Antennas for us to recognize and not let hinder us or control us. You know, it's not, I won't say productive, but it's not the best thing in any situation to allow your emotions to control you. And that's not to say that don't listen to your emotions or don't, you know, be swayed by them. Your emotions are your antennas. So they are very, very important. They're your intuition. They help you navigate the world. However, they can be very stagnating. They can be very, what the heck? Sorry about that. They can be very limiting as well, especially if they're negative emotions. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to say that I kind of got a little shaken up there. My device was doing some weird stuff with Mercury in retrograde. Like, I think Mercury's still in retrograde. I'm pretty sure. My devices have just been zonked out. My work devices have been zonked out. But anyway, this is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about doing the work as far as challenging self in doing different things, and owning your sovereignty and owning your renaissance, right? Controlling your life, taking back that control over yourself, over your life, over your destiny. And not just getting stuck in the mundane stuff, doing stuff day to day, like, right? I know for me personally, when I go to work, I might work a 10-hour shift. I come home, I'm fucking exhausted. I don't want to do anything. I want to take a shower and do nothing else for the rest of the day. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong, because we do need our rest. But also too, I found myself getting into a cycle where I was only doing that. I would go to work, come home, relax, take a shower, relax, pop on the TV and just zonk out. And those moments are okay, but it's important not to get stuck in that, because we're so much more than working a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 9 or a 9 to 7 or whatever the case may be. And then coming home and just letting your mind go off into the abyss of nothingness that is not necessarily aiding in our greatness and aiding in our own creativity and our own abilities. Is just kind of like autopilot. And I know it's so easy to get stuck there and to be an autopilot and just kind of just go with the motions of life. And we've all been there. So we've all done it. None of us are, immune to this. None of us are immune to it. It's just, for me, I feel like a reminder to remind me, myself, remind my tribe how important it is to access our creativity, to access wherever we feel power, wherever we get our power from, wherever we feel our most competent, wherever we feel like we do well and excel, or where we want to learn to excel, and just continue that. And I really feel like that is a part of being childlike. And I think that's so imperative too, as adults. Like, we get so stuck in like adulting and just going day to day. Like, I got to make my money. I got to grind. I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my family. I got to do all this. I got to do all that. I got to do all that. And I'm not saying to negate any of that, but it is so important to tap into and remember your childlike energy, your child self, because it's still there. Your child is still there. The child in you is still there. They didn't go nowhere. They're still in there. begging to be heard, begging to be noticed, begging to be healed and loved and appreciated and poured into. So I find that when we go back and we look back at our childhoods and we're like, what was that thing that really like ignited my fire? Like, what did I want to be when I was younger, right? You know, what really got me going? Like, and this may not be for everybody, but I feel like for a large majority of us, and myself included, like the things that I loved as a child are the things that I still love as an adult. And I have gotten to points where I have just completely neglected it and didn't allow myself to express in those ways that I find are vital for me. And now getting back into that, right? Because once you start shutting down those parts of yourself, it's almost like you begin to lose pieces. You begin to lose pieces of yourself. You begin to kind of forget who you are and forget how important your mind is and forget how important your heart is, the things that pull at you and tug at you. And then, like I said, we just go into this kind of autopilot way of existing, essentially making zombies out of us. Like the shit that they show on TV, The Walking Dead, that's real. There are really people out here walking dead. Like they're just out and about aimlessly, just out here out and about aimlessly with no thought about where they're going and how they're going about it. And this is not to place judgment. This is just me reminding my tribe and my people that we are not that, you know, and if we felt like that at a point, that's okay, but just bring it back in, right? Let's harness it back in. Let's bring it back in because we need that. All of us are a necessary component in each other's lives, whether we realize it or not. As necessary as I am to my immediate family and, you know, my immediate friends is as important as I am to those who resonate with me and vice versa. So I just know that it's important for us to all do our part. And I feel like the way of doing that is by tapping into what makes you feel youthful, what makes you feel alive, what makes you remember the good times, what makes you feel the most loved and the most loved. You know, those things. And I'm not trying to get all mushy and like, you know, I don't even know what the word is, but I'm not trying to do all of that. I'm just really honestly being just open to myself, open to the tribe, and just really bringing a memory, or not a memory, but a reminder for everybody to do something different this weekend or sometime before the month is over. Do something that you love, something that inspires you, something that makes you feel good, something that takes you back to a good moment in your life. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not your childhood, because all of us didn't have great childhoods. But maybe it's something that you remember that just really got you feeling good, got you feeling, you know, all the things that you miss, something that you miss doing, okay? Or something that you've been doing already and it gives you that gusto. Just do that. You know, if you haven't done it in a while, do it. And if you have been doing it, bravo. Good for you, for real, like seriously. But I just want to say that self-care is so important. That is a form of self-care. And it's so important for us to remember just those little things that really keep us feeling alive and feeling like we're here for a purpose, remembering our purpose. And like I said, it can be so easy to get lost in the world and just let that go. But for my tribe, for the people who resonate with this video, for this podcast rather, yeah, just remember that. Remember what keeps you going, what keeps you feeling love, right? And I'm just thankful to be here. So I hope that this is a very short podcast, very, very short. It's just my introduction. I just wanted to come in and say, what's good? What's popping? How y'all doing? How's my tribe? Let y'all know that I'm here. And I know that y'all are here. So please engage. Let me know what's up. Let me know how you feeling. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you love to do as a child that you may have forgotten, or what you're doing now that you love that keeps you remaining in your purpose and remembering what that is. And just holla at me and I'm gonna holla back. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll be back soon.